Hey guys, this is Chris from Texas, and today's subject is about logging your beehive inspections. I got this PDF from a dear friend of mine. She worked really hard on it, and you can print it in color. I'll just show it real quick. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul, from Proverbs 16:24. And then as you move on, you will see this beehive inspection sheet, which I will go through, and then another sheet that considers the hive condition and the configuration. If you've done a mite check, any notes you need to do, if you've done honey extraction, honey flow prep, if it's an early spring, etc., etc. It is very nice. It has a reminder for what to bring next time to your inspection, just in case you forgot the first time or you need to do anything about it. And here, if you have multiple hives, you can say the queen name, the date and time of the inspection, what was the weather like, if you've been stung, prior week weather, because a rainy weather or cloudy weather before during the week when you've done your inspection can affect how pissy the bees act or try to sting you or whatnot. All of those general stuff that you can write down, and stuff about the smoker, general hive appearance, bees actively entering, exiting hive, are they bringing in pollen, what is the pollen color, did I see dead bees on the entrance, what were they doing, foraging, or is there drones, am I getting robbed. Fanning is actually when they're fanning their wings on the entrance of the hive, and that means they're too hot, and if you have a entrance reducer you might remove it. Guarding, I see them guarding my hive at night, where I have a bunch of bees that lay all over the front entrance of my hive. Usually I see it at night, not during the day. Foraging is when the bees that go collect pollen and nectar are going out and in. I have a YouTube video of them collecting nectar, and that's what foraging means. Drones is male bees. They're usually bigger, and you can tell a drone from a worker bee by the size of their eyes, the size of their bodies almost double, and drones usually don't do anything other than they're there to just mate with a virgin queen. If you've seen any problems, how were my feeding stores? Am I seeing beetles, mold, deformed wings, K-wings? Deformed wings happen if you see a bee or several bees with deformed wings. That means your hive is infested with Varroa Mite and you need to test for it, but I will handle that with a different video. Varroa mites are small creatures that usually get stuck on a drone that is coming back from his mating flight, and he comes back into the hive, and they drop into the hive, they drop into the cell, they start laying eggs, and that's how they start reproducing inside, and they carry this virus that starts killing the bees and affecting their reproduction. And if there's Varroa mites in those cells that those bees are emerging from, they will have deformed wings, and they will basically be born dead or with deformed wings. And you can note here the bee behavior at the beginning and the middle and the end of your inspection. I find this very nice. I will probably leave her email down in the description of this video for you guys to email her if you need a copy of this PDF. The rest are just pictures of bees, not pictures but painting by her and her daughter, and they are very nice. If you can print it in color and make it like a book and write your inspections, and then You can add more papers to the inspection log as you add it and close it down. Very nice and hard work by Crystal. So I'll be using that. As you can see, all these paintings by her and her daughter. This is really awesome. If I want to get out of this guy and move to my own log, and we can discuss this now. So I did the inspection on Saturday. My queen name, I named her Diva. Time of the inspection was 1:20 p.m. The weather was sunny, and thank God I didn't get stung. It is advisable to do your inspection between 10 and 2, where most of the foragers are outside of the hive and you have less bees and the guard bees are not there. Prior week, weather was hot. I installed my queen on the 18th. My queen type and my bees are Italian/Carnolian. They call them the Texas 5000. They're a mix. I bought them from Blue Ridge, Texas area, and supposedly my queen is mated. Origin date of the colony or the nook, they created it about 2-3 days before I arrived, and I consider the origin of the bees was a nook, and you can see that video of the installation. The colony condition, I consider it not weak but not strong, marginal, because it's just new. Purpose of the inspection, it's a new nook. I used a smoker. My fuel type was a hybrid of grass and pellets, etc., etc. General hive appearance, were the bees calm? Yes. Bees were exiting and entering? Yes. They were bringing pollen. I can see it with my naked eye when I look at them. The pollen color is yellow. There's also a video that I zoom up where they are bringing pollen, and you can see the pollen on their legs while they're entering the hive. So check that out. I didn't see any dead bees. Nectar flow, we do have quite a nectar flow in Texas, especially in the North Dallas area where I live. There's a lot of roses, and now it's time for the sunflowers. They're blooming now, so they do like that. Orientation flights, they do that every day between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And I have a short video after this log that shows you what orientation flight is and describes it in detail. So keep a look and keep watching on this video so that you understand what an orientation flight is. I did not see any signs of robbing. The smell was normal. Their sound was normal. Usually if they're queenless or they're agitated, you can hear them with a loud buzzing sound. Capped honey, I have average capped honey near the brood frames. That is their food. My feeder was about 20% less full than when I installed it last. I did see fresh pollen and bees bringing it to the frame while I was watching them in my inspection. Putting them down, you can see that. I did not see any problems. I did see larvae. I did see capped brood. I did not see drone brood, and I did not see eggs. So when the queen lays eggs in a cell, the egg will look like a grain of rice on a micro level, very small grain of rice, and it's standing up, and that's day one. If you're looking at an egg and it's horizontal to the cell, sleeping down, not standing up, that's a day 2 egg. Day 3, it becomes bigger, enlarged. Day 4, it will look like a C, and that's when you call it larva. And then the larva will keep growing up and up and up and up until it's like a very big C, and that's when they cap it, and it grows again for a few more days, and it becomes a pupa. And once that worker bee is ready, it eats out the capping of the wax, and a new bee emerges. So those are the stages of eggs, larva, capped brood, and then new bees. Drone brood will look a little bit like capped brood, but it's like a peanut coming out because the drone body is bigger. So you will see it just, a capped brood is kind of like on the same level of the frame, but a drone brood is kind of like coming out a little bit, just a small peanut coming out. That's a drone brood. Capped brood is usually brown in color. Capped honey is usually white in color. So you can tell the difference between capped brood and capped honey. You can tell the difference between pollen and nectar by the color. Usually nectar is liquidy. Pollen will have like small pieces of yellow or orange stuff that you can see them in the cell. So you can easily tell once you hear this information. I've seen capped brood that's brown. I've seen some white larvae. Laying pattern was just a little bit spotty, not too much. Frames that are covered in bees are 5, which is the Nook frames. The population is moderate. Queen-sided, I did not see the queen, and I did not see a substantial change in population since last inspection. If you do see substantial change, that means they've swarmed, and usually it's half of your population. Old queen will take half of your hive and swarm somewhere else, and then you are left with an emerging queen that is virgin and half of your population. That's what this is for. Bee behavior, they were very calm, non-reactive, uninterested in the beginning. They were a little bit interested and a little bit interested at the end, but they didn't get like jumping and bumping my suit, and they didn't want to like keep me there or wanted to sting me or anything like that. So it wasn't that crazy. Swarming imminent needs monitoring, yes, because I've seen that swarm cell, so I need to look out for that next Saturday. Configuration of the hive, I just have 1 deep, no supers. Next time I'm gonna bring a camera to take pictures of the frames so I can review them after the footage. I wanna bring my brood box just in case they are expanding in population, because I've seen a lot of capped brood, and so that capped brood might be born later. So I want to see that. Sugar water, yes, just in case they drank more this week and I need to add some. All the others do not matter for me today on this inspection. I wrote some notes: no eggs visible, nectar, pollen, small and large larvae, capped brood, and I have 1 capped swarm cell and some capped honey. And that's my inspection. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this or anything else, please leave it in the comment. I'll either answer you in the comment or I will make a video about that question. Please stay tuned for my extra question and answers that I have prepared for you next. As you can see, the bees are going in 8-figure shapes all over the place, and this is what is called orientation flights that you guys asked me before. And this happens every day almost at the same time, between 4 and 6 p.m. my time. It's older forager bees trying to help new baby bees the location of the hive. So it's called orientation flights. Like, here is where the hive, you can go on this direction, come back here, and this is your home, kind of a deal. And I'll try to zoom in so you guys can see exactly what they're doing, but they're going way above, high and low, and in front of the hive. I'm gonna try to move my phone to a different angle so you can see it from a different angle as well. And that's what orientation flights is.